Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Walker, and today I'll be presenting strategies for capacity building in the Symbiota user community that I and my collaborators, Katie, Jen, and Samantha, have completed as part of our work for the Symbiota Support Hub. Here's a brief overview of what I'll be talking about today. I'll give an introduction about what Symbiota is, what is a Symbiota Support Hub, and then I'll dive into our capacity building strategies, and then we'll wrap up with some reflections on our work. If you're not familiar with Symbiota, Symbiota itself is open source software for creating themed data portals that help people share and actively manage biodiversity data. Symbiota was originally created as a biodiversity data aggregator, but over time it has become increasingly popular for use as a collections management system. Because it is open source software, anyone can go, review, and use the Symbiota code available in our GitHub repository. So these themed data portals often have user communities that coalesce around common goals. And typically these goals are related to the management, digitization, and data mobilization of natural history collections. These portals are usually taxonomically or geographically themed, although some are institutionally based and others are project-based. And if you're interested, the full directory of Symbiota portals is available on our website, linked at the bottom of this slide. In the early 2000s, Symbiota was originally just used by a handful of herbaria in Arizona, and there was no real interface or user interface of any kind. Fast forwarding 10 years into the future, Symbiota had a front-end user interface, and there was very high interest among the thematic collections networks that were funded by the US National Science Foundation to start using Symbiota portals as part of their digitization projects. By 2020, the Symbiota user community had grown exponentially. Then, in the last 25 years or so, Symbiota has been used to create over 60 data portals that we know of, and has been used by thousands of people in over 1,000 collections to mobilize 87 million specimen occurrences. And so all of this is to say that around 2020, it became readily apparent that there was a growing need for building capacity within the Symbiota user community. Due to the popularity of Symbiota amongst the thematic collections networks that I just mentioned, when IDIG-Bio, the US National Resource for Digitization, applied for its third round of funding, the proposal included funds for a new domain of IDIG-Bio called the Symbiota Support Hub. So the Symbiota Support Hub officially became the sixth domain of IDIG-Bio in late 2021. As part of this funding, we are mandated to do some very specific things. The first thing is that we provide help desk support for Symbiota users. On average, since 2021, we have responded to 120 inquiries per month, or over, by the time you see this presentation, or well over 3,700 help desk tickets. We're also responsible for creating Symbiota user documentation, as well as a sustainable business plan, and then we're responsible for hosting webinars, trainings, and workshops to improve community capacity. If you write to our help desk or attend one of our training sessions, you'll be likely interacting with any number of the individuals on our team, though most commonly me, Katie, Jen, and Samantha. So what are some of the strategies we have taken for building up the technical capacity and social network of Symbiota users so that they can use Symbiota as a digitization tool as well as work together to this end? The first strategy that was established early after the Support Hub was formed was a monthly meeting that we refer to as the Symbiota Support Group. During these meetings, a demonstration-style training is presented on a new topic every month, followed by time for community discussion and questions to give our users space to interact with both us and each other. Each meeting is recorded and then distributed to the user community, and the recordings are posted on our website and our YouTube channel. The target audience for the Symbiota Support Group are typically portal managers, curators, and collection managers, but some content is presented that is relevant to data editors or public data users, which are typically researchers. This meeting typically takes place on the first Monday of every month and lasts about an hour. The demonstration usually takes up about half of the time because we try to provide ample time for discussion so that there's a little bit more of an organic feel to the meetings. We also use a bit of time at the beginning of each meeting to make announcements. For example, if other upcoming professional development opportunities or training events might be happening soon. The demonstrations themselves often feature user-suggested topics and focus on one tool or workflow so that we're not presenting an overwhelming amount of information and people are actually learning about the things that they want to know more about. For example, we posted demonstrations on how to do things like upload data to Symbiota portals and how to add images to occurrence records. Most recently, we held a Symbiota support group meeting on portal features affected by our latest major code release. To date, we've completed 30 Symbiota support group meetings that have been attended over 900 times, of which about a third of these participants are repeats, so they do tend to attend multiple meetings over time. The recordings are also quite popular, and we've had over 3,100 views on our YouTube channel for Symbiota support group recordings alone. Moving forward, we'll likely continue this format, and something we're thinking about doing more of is encouraging more community-led content to highlight the unique ways Symbiota users have started using their data portals. Because all these meetings are documented, we've integrated them throughout our written documentation known as Symbiota Docs as a complement to our YouTube channel. And so it's been really handy to be able to embed these videos straight into Symbiota Docs to make both written and video formats as accessible as possible, all in one place. The second major community capacity building strategy we've established is our Portal Advancement Campaign series. These events aim to sustain and reinvigorate a given portal community's data management and sharing momentum. During these month-long events, we provide training on various topics. We assist with lingering data management tasks, and similar to the support group, they provide a forum for the community discussion for a specific subset of our user community. The portal advancement campaigns are generally, but not exclusively, for collections administrators. I say not exclusively because sometimes we'll cover topics where they might actually be more relevant to data editors or a public portal user. For example, the Lichen and Bryophyte portal communities jointly presented a special session on checklists, which are often used by researchers. And unlike the support group, the campaigns provide sustained, focused attention on one portal community for approximately 1 month. The format is that we generally host a series of 4 weekly virtual office hours with both synchronous and asynchronous opportunities for participation, and each meeting is recorded and shared with that specific portal community in a follow-up email. As part of each campaign, we facilitate community interaction so that everyone can meet their fellow portal community members, but also learn more about the Symbiota Support Hub and the resources we've made available to them. We also like to spend time on training users how to take advantage of the data cleaning tools that are built into their portals, as well as provide support with data management tasks that can't be easily accomplished through the main user interface. For example, helping batch cleanup coordinates that simply ended up in the wrong hemisphere. Once data cleaning training is complete, we'll progress to data publishing. Because the Support Hub is an associate participant node of GBIF, we're also able to help with endorsement to get new data publishers online. So between that and teaching people how to use the built-in data publishing tools in their portals, the campaigns have been quite successful for getting more collections into larger data aggregators like the GBIF portal. Since we started this series, we've completed 13 campaigns for 15 Symbiota portals. This includes hosting 58 office hours, with more to come. Many of our campaign participants attend multiple meetings and occasionally multiple campaigns. Unlike the support group, the recordings for these events are not publicly listed, but we do share them with the specific portal communities after each event. People do seem to go back and watch those meetings and reference them, and they're also very handy for sharing with new portal community members who join a portal after a campaign has been completed. So we have also organized in-person events to build community capacity. For example, earlier this year, we coordinated a data cleaning workshop with other collections management systems at IDIG-Bio's annual digital data meeting. And last year, we hosted a workshop centered around the digital extended specimen. The data cleaning workshop emphasized how to find and fix errors in your specimen data, whereas the extended specimen event was geared toward increasing community awareness and driving conversations. The data cleaning workshop was especially successful in building new community connections, as this workshop included 20 IDIG-Bio sponsored data capacity fellows who received travel stipends to attend the workshop because they had a demonstrated need for this professional development activity, and they had never engaged in an in-person IDIG-Bio sponsored event before. As a direct result of our extended specimen workshop, a novel workflow for linking specimen records and Symbiota portals to genetic data in external resources was developed. And for the data cleaning workshop, a series of data quality toolkits were designed and made available for reference. Switching gears, our fourth major strategy for community capacity building within the Symbiota community is to provide multilingual documentation and training opportunities for our users. This initiative is led by my co-author, Samantha Orellana, who is a PhD student at Arizona State University. Samantha's outreach targets collection staff and researchers who prefer Spanish language training. Similar to our other events, she's hosted virtual workshops focused on building capacity for collections digitization. She does make the recordings available, and she also engages with users through our help desk. At last count, Samantha has hosted at least 7 workshops and given 14 presentations in Spanish, an emphasis on outreach to Symbiota users in Latin America. This strategy has allowed her to provide training to users from at least 17 different countries. Samantha reports at least 50 participants per workshop, for over 500 total, which demonstrates a strong interest in capacity building events from collections communities in Spanish-speaking countries. And I don't want to go into too much detail because Samantha will be presenting on some of this progress in a talk tomorrow in Symposium number 30. So please consider attending her talk, which will emphasize her work with the collections communities in Guatemala. To wrap up, we want to present a few reflections on our work so far. First, in our experience, it seems that offering both synchronous and asynchronous opportunities for engagement and training are very important. While many users are participating in our virtual events, many appear to be referencing our documentation, and this will only become more important as our user community expands globally. We feel documentation is critical to building capacity. We feel strongly that offering multiple communication channels for training are important, which is one reason why we don't just host meetings, but we also provide one-on-one training opportunities and support through our help desk. Importantly, providing these channels in multiple languages can significantly expand your reach as well. While we're able to offer virtual events most regularly, the in-person events have received very positive feedback, and they provide very focused sprints of engagement as well as additional networking opportunities to our community members. And then lastly, we found that building capacity within the Symbiota user community is as much a social endeavor as it is technical, which is why our events usually include unstructured time for more organic conversation. People don't just want to learn something new, but they appreciate it when that information is coming from a source they have a close rapport with. If you have any questions about what we've presented today, my fellow Symbiota Support Hub member, Katie Pearson, is also attending the conference, and feel free to chat with her or send us an email. I'm only here virtually, sorry, not in person, but you can contact me as well at help@symbiota.org. Thank you very much for your attention today.